Hello and welcome back to the December update from the testnet team. You hear me, Fola? Without further ado, let's get into your Q&A questions for this month. And the first question is from Thompson, and they ask, the team previously didn't mention Agoras, but it's now featured in the Twitter profile bio. What has changed regarding its public emphasis? So not much has changed. We have just gone a little bit wiser from the regulatory side, and there is also better understanding of what we can and can't say. At the same time, we have also progressed much more in our development. As you can see, the testnet repo is public. So that allows us to be a bit more confident in what we are happy to put into our Twitter bio. And the next question is from Marco, and they ask, will Telnet eventually include something like the network of languages? Has this concept evolved, and does it remain relevant? Over to you, Ad.
So this concept changed with the Tau language. The Tau language allows to support many languages at once by what is called the base languages of the Tau languages. So the Tau language is the only language that can speak about its own sentences, but it can also speak about sentences of other languages. Not all of them, but they have to satisfy certain basic criteria. By that, we get something much more powerful from what was previously the Internet of Languages.
Thanks, Ad. And the next question is from Learn Tau, and they ask, what is the current progress on implementing tables in Tau? Could you explain the benefits and advantages they will bring to the system?
Yeah, so for the progress, I will speak about it in the update. And for the benefits, the point is that you want at each point of time of execution of Tau program to work with large amounts of data. So for example, in the blockchain scope, each block is going to be a table of transactions, and you want to do operations that are similar to database operations over those tables. And that's the main reason why it's so important.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ahad. And the next question is from Sherlock, and they ask, are there any plans to establish a Tau-related foundation or media communications arm similar to Ethereum Foundation or Consensus? Well, that depends on what the outcomes are at the time. We are constantly evolving internally, and the messaging and the project is, as you guys know and can see, evolving at the same time. So it depends what the project needs. So it's not out of scope, but we don't have any plans right now. And the next question is from Marco, and they ask, traditional automation systems like car diagnostics require manually programmed checks. Could Tau offer a more general or automated solution for such scenarios?
Normally, when you write programs and you also write tests for the programs, and you check that the program passes the tests. In the Tau language, it's not a programming language, it's a software specification language. You basically write only the test, and then the system automatically computes a program that is going to pass this test. So for the car diagnostics example, of course, neglecting all the complicated part of modeling the whole car in software, but let's say, imagine that we did that, then you could say that the engine will not turn off during driving, and then you are guaranteed to happen, in contrast to engineering, where you have to design the system such that it's not going to happen. But in the Tau specification approach, or in case of engineering, it's related to a field called model-based system engineering. You only put a constraint, and that's enough.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Marco. And the next question is from Learn Tau, and he asks, will Bitvectors in the Tau testnet release support widths ranging from 8 to 64 bits? Are they intended for representing numerical values, including decimals for math functions?
Yes. So Bitvectors can support widths from less than 8 actually to 64. And what are they intended for? Technically, Bitvectors are just that. It's just a list of bits, but you can interpret them however you want. For example, they do have an arithmetic interpretation, of course, as numbers that you can add and subtract. For now, in the first version, we don't support multiplications, just addition and subtraction. And we don't support floating points. It's all integer math. But there are other interpretations to Bitvector. For example, they represent subsets. You can use them in logic to represent subsets of a bigger set. Bitvectors are supported, no floating point math, and there are many applications for Bitvectors, not just arithmetic.
All right, and the next question is from Learn Tao, and he asks, can discussions during the testnet phase help accelerate the development of tools essential to the Agoras knowledge economy, the controlled natural language interface, and related features?
It seems that the question refers to the underlying technologies that run the Tau framework. It looks like, if I understand the question correctly, that it does not relate to things that are developed using the tautological framework. And if this is so, then the answer is no. The answer is that everything that is extra logical, people will have to develop in the standard way.
Right, fantastic. Thanks, Ahad. And the next question is from James Wynn, and they ask, is there a new or updated white paper available for Taunet or Agoras?
No, there is not a white paper, but there are technical documents that explain about the mathematics behind the Tau language, and there are quite several such, but not yet an updated white paper.
And the next question is from Kirko, and they ask, does Taunet support privacy features? If so, how might its approach compare to privacy-focused platforms like Zcash?
Yeah, from the get-go, natively, there will not be privacy enabled on Taunet. Also, for regulatory reasons, it's much easier for us to navigate if it's not private from the get-go. But obviously, its users collectively can much easier implement such features compared to on other chains, because on Taunet, users just have to collectively agree on certain rules that can entail privacy features, of course. And then these features if agreement is reached, then these features automatically are synthesized as the new state of the blockchain. So it will be up to the community.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Killian. And the last question is from Philip, and he asks, does a Tau-based blockchain inherently require a global account state? Or is Tau also compatible with UTXO-based execution models, where state is more fragmented and scalable?
The Tau-based blockchain does not inherently require global account state, because Tau-based blockchain is a logic-based system where the protocol is defined by users' consensus on logical formulas. So it is agnostic to the underlying state. And this is the flexibility of logic, where the state is effectively a set of logical sentences, and you can define rules like this value, or you can define a rule where account is previous spent, and so on. So the current testnet state has, of course, the global account state, but this is done only for simplicity. But the goal of Tau is to allow network to define its own model, its own like scaling solution. So if the community decides to use, I don't know, UTXO graph or sharded state is more effective currently, then the logical definitions can be upgraded to that, and it does not require a fork in the blockchain like other blockchains. That's the advantage of Tau-based blockchains. Thanks.
All right, fantastic. Thank you to you for all of your questions, and we'll see you on the next one. As always, don't forget to follow us on our socials. That's Tau_net on Twitter. That's Taunet Agrs on Reddit, and that's Taunet on Telegram. See you next time. Cheers.